History of Labor by Albany Grogan. The 1869 to World War I, unions didn't really exist. 1850s and 1860s saw growth of the USA factory systems. Common law. Common law was used to settle a lawful argument only when no fundamental or statutory laws applies to the dispute. Judges, they really push toward legal procedures and policies to solve these type of disputes. Over time, the judge felt that using these same principles and procedures in similar disputes, which came to common law. Commonwealth and Hunt in 1842 was a judgment against 7 members of the Journeyman Bootmaker Society who declined work in shops where non-workers were employed at less than their wages. The court sought out to seek if these workers' actions were illegal and lawful. The court ruled that their actions was not illegal. Criminal conspiracy doctrine is also an application of common law. While doing this, it was attempts by employees to organize unions around without arousing public interest. Yellow Dog Contract. This was a contract required by the employer to have the employee sign that they would either join a union or assist in a similar one. Anyone who violated this contract could be charged and it could lead up to jail time. Sherman Antitrust Act. Sherman Antitrust Act. Sherman's Antitrust Act in 1890 was passed by Congress. It was to control the expand of power of big corporations to capture anti-competitive practices, which tended to drive small firms out of the market. Knights of Labor, KOL, was funded by Uran Stephan. It was a secret organization in 1969. It was to protect its members from employers' reconciliations. It was one of the first important labor organizations in the United States. Goals of the KOL. The KOL wanted to use 4 plans of action to achieve their goals. First, they wanted to use policy actions. These were viewed as critical. Second, they wanted to motivate manufacturers and consumer competitive. Thirdly, they vigorously or did not want to be involved in any strikes. And 4, as an alternative of strikes, they wanted to educate the members of the union and citizens. 8-hour workday movement. Goopers. He was a King member and an official of a national labor organization. He wanted to push toward a nationwide strike to the 8-hour workday movement. One of his goals was that workers would be able to pursue more intellectual entertainment. On May 3rd, some labor striked in Chicago, which involved police officers, and 4 strikers were killed. Homestead Incident. The Homestead Incident took place on January 6, 1892 in Homestead, Pennsylvania. It was one of the most expected violent events in labor history. Pullman Strike. Pullman Strike happened in the late 1860s. Pullman eventually he improved existing sleeper cars and offered dining care. When the Great Depression came in 1892, as a result of that, his company had to lay off employees and cut wages. On July 7, a strike took place in Chicago, which ended with 70 rail cars burnt down. Reference: Labor Relations Process by Holly, Ross, and Walters.